Hey everyone, welcome back to the Strategy Game Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Shippey, and today we're talking about So Now What? Back to the moment of clarity that prompted so many questions. Stay tuned as we ask the key questions that you should be looking at. So, in this episode, we're going to throw back a little bit and go through a blog post that Kim Gomez has shared. Kim is just a dear friend. She walks alongside of us and is on the board of an organization that we lead locally here. And it's really wonderful. And she's just comes from an entrepreneurial family, and they've done just so much work in our community over the years. And I'm so grateful to have her as a contributor on the Storywork blog. And in this blog post, she was really talking about just how the pandemic that we've been through and the shutdown that we've been through slowed things down, right? We all know this, and it became unfamiliar to a lot of us. It was slow, it was distant, it was quiet, it was disconnected in some ways, and at times, she says, revealed powerful, thought-provoking clarity. And I love this journey that it's taken many of us on, and I think it's good to recall what's happened as we come out of this. And a lot of things are moving and getting back to normal. I think it's great to not forget what we want to take from it. I know for me, there were a lot of moments that I enjoyed the slowness and the stillness and things that I never would have done otherwise or taken the time to do. And there's a lot of that I want to continue to maintain. And I think it's so easy for the technology and all of our notifications and our Apple Watches and everything on us all the time, notifying of us of what is happening around us, to become potentially at times a distraction for the work that we really need to do, not even just the work, the people that we need to see in front of us. And so I just wanted to take this episode to reflect on this blog post and really challenge you all to, number one, not forget the things that you learned coming out of COVID, how it really benefited you, and what things were really sweet times that you want to continue to carry forward with you in the future. And then number two, I think, how do you want to move differently coming out of this in terms of even technology? And is there a place or a time where you feel like the technology is truly distracting you from things that you are supposed to be doing or walking in, or people that you're supposed to be seeing? So this is where I always go back to the distraction-free PDF guide that I put together. It's on storywork.co if you guys want it. And it really just helps you disconnect and take some time to almost evaluate your life with technology and figure out what you can do and small changes that you can make that can lead to more time to gain this clarity. And clarity doesn't come without some form of silence, usually, or distance from really screens, I find. And so in our family, we've made some changes. We keep our phones in the laundry room in the evening, at night, overnight, and got an old school alarm clock. And you know what? I can say that it's truly really great and freeing. I think there are just small things that we can do, small ways. We have a no phone zone, and as I mentioned, it's a stand in the laundry room. So I can just, whenever I'm feeling like it's getting to be too much, I just go ahead and head in there and put my phone away. And do not disturb turned on your desktops. Zones overnight for your phone on do not disturb is a beautiful thing. So there's a lot of things that you can do out there. But Kim, in this blog post, asked some really great questions that I wanted to read. And so I would just, if you have a piece of paper or just a note you can jot down on your phone, you can use this time to just prompt these moments of clarity, really, that brought these questions to life for her. And some of them were, what touches my deepest desires? So when you think about your core, if you peel back the layers of the onion and think about, what are my deepest desires? What is the terrain of my heart and soul? I love this. I love the way she writes and she thinks. It's so it's so visionary. What does the terrain look like in your heart and soul right now? Take an inventory. Is there bitterness? Is there resentment? Is there unresolved conflict? Whether that's at work or at home, things that are bothering you that may need to be resolved? Or is there just a source of joy that you're finding from doing certain things? And what are those things, and how can you do more of them? What do I enjoy talking about? That's a great one, right? What do I enjoy? What am I passionate about? If you're having trouble really pinning down where you get excited about things, think about what you enjoy talking about. When have I felt the most needed? Oh, I love that. Because when you're truly serving people, it's not, and it's within your realm of passion, it doesn't feel like a chore. It's actually one of the things that fuels you and fills you up the most. What pains am I willing to tolerate? That's a really good one. That's a challenging one. What pains am I willing to tolerate within my ecosystem? And not just tolerate, but I would say, like, what pains do I want, not want, but almost am I willing to encounter for the sake of what I feel like I've been created to do? What would I do if I wasn't afraid? So if there was no layer of fear, and I know a lot of us can set this aside if leaders, if we've been in the game a long time, we can say, oh, I'm good. I conquered the initial fears of starting, of going out there, of building. But I would challenge you in saying that at every new height, there are a new level of fears or unknown or maybe insecurity that can come. And I would just encourage you to take some time to call that out and look at that and say, okay, what would I do if I wasn't afraid right now? What is holding me back? What legacy do I want to leave? So thinking about your family or the people around you, what kind of legacy, what do you want them to say about you when you're not here anymore? What is the main purpose or the few purposes, the buckets where you feel like you want to operate and make sure you're spending the most time? And does it match up with how you're spending your time today? And if not, you can run a simple gap analysis and write out my legacy thoughts, like some bullet points, and where I am today, and where's the gap, and how can you bridge that gap? And then who am I called to today? People. What people? And this is on a daily basis. Who do you have for me to just connect with and operate with and do life with today? And it's like a great adventure, if we view it that way and shift our mindsets that way. So really, and I love how Kim shares this, that the pandemic really taught us that busy wasn't working in a lot of ways. And so we want the kind of life and vocation that keeps our hearts and souls awake every day, right? And most of us get better as we go. So just take some time to ask yourself these questions. Give yourself space to answer them, and just stay grounded to the foundation that has brought you to where you are. And I love this. And she says, but let the sun shine on you and your business at a different angle. Enjoy a fresh perspective. And I think that's so beautiful. And so many of us, if we get discouraged or if we feel that we're in a rut, this is how we are able to pull out of that rut, by just reframing our mindset and using these tools to reframe. So check out the link to this blog post in the show notes if you want to go through this and see these questions tangibly on a piece of paper. And I would just encourage you, feel free to reach out and share with us any light bulb moments that you had after listening to this episode. We always love to hear from you. And if you love what we do, please take a minute to give us a review so we can continue to share the work. Thanks so much for listening in.